In this video, we're going to review how to update the status of multiple tasks at once using the bulk changes function within Jira. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to identify what tasks we want to update and what we want to update the statuses to. So in this example, in my development Scrum project, I want to move all of these subtasks under the requirements gathering to in progress. And then I want to move the development and configuration to in progress as well. So I want to make sure that we move this dev-10 into in progress as well as all of the child tasks. So dev-9, dev-11, and dev-12 to in progress. So now that I've identified which tasks I want to go through and update, I am going to go and create a JQL query to filter on those tasks. The way that I'm going to find these tasks is I'm going to filter on their parents, which is dev-2 and dev-3. So here, if we go over to the All Work tab, make sure that you toggled on to JQL. And if your view looks different from what I have here, it could be because you're on the detail view. So go ahead and make sure that you are on the list view. So once you've confirmed you're on the list view and you have your JQL, what we're going to do is we are going to filter so that we just see the task underneath development and configuration and all the tasks under requirements gathering. And so here I'm going to update my JQL to say project equals dev and parent equals dev-2. So what that means is any task, such as these three here that have the dev-2 task listed as their parent, will filter on this search. Now keep in mind, I also want to pull the dev-10, and so that parent is dev-3, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So here in our JQL, we're going to filter on project equals dev and parent equals dev-2. We're going to hit enter. And now you can see the only items that are filtering here are those where the parent is dev-2. So let's add another field here by clicking the configure columns section, and let's add the parent field so we can confirm and validate that that is in fact the case. And sure enough, here you can see dev-2 is the parent. So we want to pull anything that rolls up to dev-2, and I also want to pull in that subtask for the development and configuration, or rather the child task for the development and configuration. So instead of saying project equals dev and parent equals dev-2 and parent equals, let's try that, and parent equals dev-3. Once I hit enter, you'll see that everything disappears here. And that's because this query is looking for things where the parent equals both dev-2 and dev-3. But a task can only have one parent, and so this would be rendered invalid because no task has has a parent listed as both dev-3 and dev-2. If we wanted the query to function the way we expect, instead of using the and Boolean expression, we would have to change that to or. So let's see what this does when we hit enter. So now you can see that we have dev-2, dev-2, dev-3, and dev-2 here listed as the parent. So what this function does is it means it's within this project and the parent either equals dev-2 or the parent is dev-3. And so you can see that it pulls all of the tasks that I want to update. Now we want to make sure that we're updating the status of these. So what we're going to do is we are going to go over and add columns to our view, and we're going to select the status field so that we can see what status these tasks are in. Now keep in mind, you can click and drag and arrange these tasks in any way that you want. So let's scroll over and let's move status up. And let's move parent up as well, since those are the fields that we care about. Now all of these are currently in to do, so let's go ahead and move these into a different status all at once using the make bulk changes function within Jira. So now that we have our JQL query filtering on exactly what it is that we want to update, what we'll do is we'll click the More Actions button in the top right-hand corner, and we'll go to Bulk Change Work Items. If you don't see bulk change work items as an option, that means you do not have the permission to make bulk changes. If you feel that you really need it, go ahead and contact your Atlassian or Jira admin. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to select all of the tasks here. So I'm just going to click that checkbox at the top because these are all of the tasks that I want to update the status for. Then we're going to select Next. And what we are going to do is we are going to select Transition Issues. If you select Transition Issues through the workflow, this means you can transition issues to another status within the workflow. So now we're going to select Next. And now we're going to select what status we want this move, all of these tasks moved to. So they were in to do, and I want to move them all in progress. So I'm going to select in progress, and I'm going to hit next. All right, here you can see that the selected transition is to in progress. It will affect 4 issues, which is accurate. And we only had 4 things that we want to update. And you'll notice that it has a checkbox here to send mail for this update. Basically, it says by selecting this option, an update notification will be sent for each issue affected by this bulk operation. So if someone's the assignee, if someone is a watcher, if someone is a reporter on that task, they will get an email notification and they will get a notification through Jira that this update has been made. This is just my dev org, and I don't want to spam anyone for this, so I'm going to leave this unchecked. But for change management purposes, if you are making bulk changes that could your team members could be confused about later, make sure you check that box. So we're going to go ahead and confirm these changes. And we're going to double confirm these changes. Jira is processing the changes. And we are going to select Done. Now you can see all of these tasks were populated back out onto our JQL query with just the few tasks we want to update. They are now listed with the status of in progress. So this is how you can go about leveraging the make bulk changes function within Jira to update the status of multiple tasks at once.